Deep in the heart of Africa, where the land stretches wild and untamed, lies the Luangwa Valley, a place where nature reigns supreme, untouched by the hands of time. Here the earth breathes with life, and every sunrise brings a new chapter to the ancient story unfolding across this vast wilderness. The valley is a sea of tall, golden grasses, their tips shimmering in the early light as a warm breeze stirs them into gentle waves. Hidden within this living carpet, tiny creatures scurry and leap, each blade of grass a world of its own. Scattered across the plains, ancient acacia trees stand as silent sentinels, their twisted branches casting long shadows that offer precious shade. Birds flit between the thorns, their songs weaving through the air, while beneath the canopy, antelope rest and ruminate, ever watchful for danger. The Luangwa River, lifeblood of the valley, winds its way through the landscape, carving deep channels and nourishing all who dwell nearby. Along its banks the air is thick with the scent of wet earth and the calls of animals drawn to its waters. The valley is alive with sound, a symphony of life. The rustle of grass, the distant trumpeting of elephants, the chorus of frogs at dusk, and the haunting roar of a lion rolling across the plains as night falls. Birds call to one another from treetop to treetop, insects buzz and hum in the heat, and sometimes the deep thunderous roar of a lion sends a shiver through every living creature. The Luangwa Valley is a bustling haven, where herds of elephants move in stately procession, zebras graze in tight-knit groups, and antelopes leap through the grass. Giraffes stretch their necks to reach tender leaves, while warthogs root in the earth and baboons chatter in the trees. Every day the valley becomes a stage for the drama of survival. Animals move with purpose and caution, their senses tuned to the ever-present threat of predators lurking in the shadows. Eyes and ears are always alert. A sudden movement, a shift in the wind, and the chase is on. Predator and prey locked in a timeless contest of wits and speed. At the river's edge, antelope and zebra lower their heads to drink, muscles tense, ready to flee at the slightest hint of danger. Hippos wallow in the cool water, while crocodiles glide just beneath the surface, patient and unseen. The Luangwa is a world of hunters and the hunted, where every creature, lion, wild dog, vulture, or zebra, plays a vital role in the endless cycle of life and death. Each animal, from the stealthy leopard to the mighty buffalo, has its own story, a tale of survival, adaptation, and resilience in this wild land. Watch as lionesses nurture their playful cubs, teaching them the skills they'll need to thrive. Elephant matriarchs guide their families across the plains, passing down wisdom from one generation to the next. The hunt is a moment of pure intensity, muscles coiled, eyes locked, every sense focused on the chase. For predator and prey alike, survival depends on instinct, speed, and sometimes a stroke of luck. Many creatures have mastered the art of blending in, their colors and patterns making them nearly invisible among the grasses and trees. Camouflage is their shield, a silent guardian in a world where danger is never far away. Every animal here is shaped by the valley, claws for gripping, fur for hiding, tongues for reaching, hooves for running. Each adaptation is a key to survival, honed by countless generations. Some are built for breathtaking speed, racing across the plains in a blur, while others rely on endurance and teamwork to outlast their pursuers. Masters of disguise, some animals vanish into their surroundings unseen by both predator and prey. In this world, invisibility can mean the difference between life and death. From the tiniest insect to the largest elephant, every creature is part of a delicate web. Birds ride on the backs of buffalo, beetles clean the earth, and all are bound together in the great tapestry of life. The river's gift is water, cool, life-giving, and essential. Along its banks, herds gather to drink, and lush plants flourish, feeding grazers and sheltering the young. This rich, vibrant environment supports a dazzling array of life, making the Luangwa Valley a sanctuary where nature's wonders are on full display. Among the valley's most fascinating residents are the powerful lion, the patient crocodile, and the clever monkeys, each a master of its own domain, each with a story to tell. The lion, king of the savannah, rules with strength and strategy, his family bound together by loyalty and fierce protection. The Nile crocodile, ancient and patient, waits in the cool depths, a silent ruler of the river, striking with lightning speed when opportunity arises. High in the trees, monkeys chatter and leap, their sharp eyes always searching for food and danger. Their world is one of cleverness and cooperation, where every day is a test of wit and agility. As the sun rises over the Luangwa Valley, a new day begins, a day of struggle, triumph, and the endless dance of life. Step quietly into this world and witness the wild beauty and raw power of nature, where every moment is a story and every creature plays its part in the magnificent symphony of the Luangwa. In the golden heart of the Luangwa savannah, a single creature moves with a presence that commands the landscape. Each step is measured, each movement a silent proclamation of dominance. The lion, draped in the first light of dawn, is the living embodiment of power and grace. He is the king of the beasts, his mane catching the breeze as he surveys his realm. Beneath the shade of an acacia, his golden eyes scan the horizon, ever watchful, ever aware. As he moves through his territory, the world around him shifts. Herds of antelope freeze, their ears flicking nervously. Zebras pause mid-graze, muscles tensed, eyes wide. Even the smallest creatures sense the ripple of his approach. The air grows thick with tension. Antelope bunch together, ready to flee at the slightest sign of danger. Jackals and hyenas, opportunists of the plains, slink away, giving the lion a wide berth. His mere presence is enough to alter the rhythm of the savannah. The lion does not rush. He strolls with the unhurried confidence of a ruler, knowing that every inch of this land bends to his will. The savannah is his kingdom, and he walks its paths as both guardian and judge. Around him, the world holds its breath. Gazelles graze with one eye fixed on his silhouette. Warthogs scurry to their burrows. The lion's presence is a silent command, a force that shapes the lives of all who share his domain. When he lifts his head and roars, the sound rolls across the plains like thunder. It is a declaration of power, a warning to rivals and a call to his kin. The roar can be heard for miles, echoing through the night and into the hearts of all who listen. In the golden light, the male lion stands as a monument to strength. His mane, thick and dark, frames his face like a crown, making him appear even larger and more formidable. This magnificent mane is more than just a symbol. It is armor, shielding his neck and throat during fierce battles with rivals. The scars hidden beneath its layers tell stories of past victories and hard-fought survival. When two males clash, the mane absorbs the blows and bites, protecting the most vulnerable parts. Only the strongest, most resilient lions earn the right to keep their territory and their pride. The role of the male is not to hunt, but to defend. He stands sentinel, always alert, ready to confront any threat that dares approach his family. He marks the boundaries of his domain with scent, rubbing his face and body against trees and bushes. Each mark is a message. This land is claimed, and any intruder will face his wrath. As guardian, he places himself between danger and his pride. He will fight, and if necessary, give his life to protect the cubs and lionesses that depend on him. Unlike any other cat, lions are born to be social. They thrive in groups, bound together by blood and loyalty. This group, known as a pride, is a complex family. Mothers, daughters, sisters, and aunts raise their young together, sharing the burdens and joys of life on the savannah. Together they face the challenges of drought, hunger, and danger. Their unity is their strength, allowing them to hunt larger prey and defend their home against all odds. The heart of the pride is the bond between the females and their cubs. Mothers nurture and protect, teaching the next generation the skills they will need to survive. Among them, one or a few adult males serve as vigilant guardians, their presence a shield against outside threats. The pride's social structure is a masterpiece of cooperation. Together they hunt, defend and raise their young, each member playing a vital role in the survival of the group. As the sun climbs high and the heat becomes oppressive, the pride seeks refuge in the shade. Here they rest, conserving their energy for the trials that lie ahead. In the cool shadows of trees and rocks, lions sleep side by side, their bodies pressed close in a display of trust and affection. They groom one another, their rough tongues cleaning fur and strengthening the bonds that hold the pride together. These moments of tenderness are as vital as any hunt or battle. Rest is sacred. It is a time for healing, for growing, for dreaming of the night to come. As the day wanes, the pride stirs. Muscles stretch, jaws yawn wide, and eyes sharpen in anticipation. Every moment of rest is fuel for the coming darkness. When the sun dips below the horizon and shadows stretch across the Luangwa Valley, the Savannah transforms. The lions rise, their silhouettes bold against the fading light. Night is the lion's domain. Under the cover of darkness, the pride becomes a silent force, moving as one through the tall grass. The hunt begins, and the mighty lion once again takes his place as the master of the savannah. The heart of the lion pride is its lionesses. In the golden light of dawn, these magnificent females stir from their slumber, their bodies pressed close for warmth and comfort. The air is filled with the soft rumble of purrs and the gentle nuzzling of cubs seeking reassurance. These powerful females are the true providers for the family. As the sun rises, they slip silently into the tall grass, their movements perfectly synchronized. Each lioness knows her role. Some fan out to the flanks, others move ahead, and a few hang back, ready to cut off any escape. They are the primary hunters and the caretakers of the next generation. Before the hunt, they groom their cubs, strengthening the bonds that hold the pride together. The cubs watch with wide eyes, learning from every movement. The pride is usually led by one or two of the most experienced lionesses. These matriarchs are the architects of every hunt, reading the wind, the grass, and the subtle signs of prey nearby. These wise leaders know the territory better than anyone else. They guide the pride to the best hunting grounds, where herds gather and the cover is thickest. They remember where to find water during the dry season and the best places to ambush prey. In the shimmering heat, a lioness crouches low, her muscles coiled, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The other lionesses in the pride look to them for guidance. With a flick of a tail or a silent glance, the matriarch signals the start of the hunt, and the pride moves as a single, fluid force. This strong bond between the females is what holds the pride together and ensures its survival through the generations. After a successful hunt, they share the spoils, grooming and comforting one another, reinforcing the unity that makes them formidable. Raising cubs is a shared responsibility within the pride. The cubs tumble and play under the watchful eyes of many mothers, each one ready to protect and teach. A lioness will give birth to her cubs in a hidden, secluded den away from the main group. Here, in the cool shade, she keeps them safe from lurking dangers, her senses always alert. For the first few weeks, she will keep them safe there, nursing them and protecting them from danger. Her world shrinks to the tiny, fragile lives she guards so fiercely. When they are strong enough, she introduces them to the rest of the pride. The reunion is filled with gentle greetings and curious sniffs as the cubs take their first steps into the larger family. From that moment on, all the lionesses help to look after the cubs. They share the duties of feeding, grooming, and guarding, each cub cherished as part of the pride's future. If one mother goes off to hunt, another will stay behind to babysit. This seamless cooperation ensures that the cubs are never left unprotected, even as the hunt demands the pride's attention. This communal nursery gives the cubs a much better chance of growing up to become strong adult lions. Under the watchful gaze of their guardians, the young lions learn the first lessons of survival. Life for a lion cub is full of play, but every game is a lesson in survival. Wrestling, chasing, and pouncing are not just fun. They are practice for the challenges that lie ahead. They chase each other's tails, pounce on their mothers, and practice stalking their siblings in the tall grass. Each playful ambush hones their reflexes and sharpens their instincts. These playful activities help them develop the skills they will need as adult hunters. The older cubs begin to shadow the hunting parties, watching and learning the art of the stalk. They learn how to move silently, how to stalk their prey, and how to deliver a powerful pounce. Every day brings new lessons, each one vital for their future. The adult lions are very patient with the cubs' playful antics, knowing that this is how they prepare for the serious business of life in the wild. The pride's elders watch with knowing eyes, remembering their own days of youthful play. The cubs learn by watching the adults and by practicing with each other every day. They mimic the stalking, the crouching, and the sudden bursts of speed, absorbing the secrets of the hunt. The male lions of the pride have a very specific and vital role: protection. Their presence is a silent warning to all who would threaten the pride. While the lionesses are busy hunting and raising the young, the males act as the pride's security guards. They patrol the boundaries, their senses attuned to every sound and scent. Their size and strength are essential for defending the pride's territory from rival males who may try to take over. A deep roar echoes across the plains, a declaration of ownership and a challenge to any intruder. If a new male defeats the resident lion, he will often kill the young cubs to bring the lionesses back into season so he can have his own offspring. This brutal reality shapes the lives of every member of the pride, driving the fierce loyalty and cooperation that define their world. Therefore, the pride's protector is defending not just the land, but the very future of his own bloodline, making his job one of the most important in the pride. In the endless cycle of day and night, the pride endures, bound by loyalty, sharpened by necessity, and united by the unbreakable ties of family. As the last traces of sunlight fade and darkness blankets the Luangwa savannah, the lionesses awaken to their true element. In the cool hush of night, their bodies move with silent purpose, every muscle attuned to the rhythm of the wild. The night is their greatest ally, a cloak that shrouds their golden coats and muffles their movements. Under the cover of darkness, the savannah transforms into a world of shadows and whispers, where only the most finely tuned senses can navigate. The lioness's eyes, wide and unblinking, drink in every glimmer of moonlight. Their vision is a marvel, specially adapted to pierce the gloom. Their pupils expand to gather even the faintest trace of light. A lion's eyes are about 6 times more sensitive to dim light than a human's, allowing them to see the world in shades of silver and shadow, where others see only blackness. This extraordinary vision gives them a silent advantage over their prey, buffalo and zebra, whose eyes cannot penetrate the darkness as deeply. The hunted are left vulnerable, unaware of the silent shapes gliding through the grass. The cool night air invigorates the pride. Unlike the sweltering heat of day, the darkness allows the lionesses to run, leap, and chase without fear of exhaustion. Every breath is crisp, every movement precise. The tall grass becomes their ally, concealing their forms as they melt into the landscape. Each lioness moves with practiced stealth, her paws barely disturbing the earth beneath her. Hunting in the dark is a symphony of senses and cooperation. Each lioness knows her role, her place in the silent ballet. Their whiskers twitch, reading the air for the faintest tremor of movement. Their ears swivel, catching the distant thud of hooves or the soft rustle of grass. A single lioness may bring down a small antelope, but to challenge a Cape buffalo, a mountain of muscle and horn, requires unity. The pride becomes a single organism, each member vital to the hunt's success. The hunt is a carefully choreographed dance. Lionesses fan out, their bodies low, moving in perfect formation. Each step is measured, each pause deliberate. Communication is silent but profound. A flick of a tail, a twitch of an ear, a subtle shift in posture, these are the signals that bind the pride together. Without a sound, they spread out, encircling their quarry. They read the wind, always moving upwind so their scent drifts away from the herd. The terrain is their map. Termite mounds, gullies, and thickets become cover as they close the distance. Each lioness trusts her sisters, relying on their silence and discipline. The pride's unity is its greatest weapon, forged through years of shared hunts and close bonds. The strategy is often one of ambush. While some lionesses hold back, hidden in the grass, others begin to circle, their bodies pressed low, eyes fixed on the herd. The younger, swifter lionesses slip around the edges, flanking the herd. Their task is to guide the prey, nudging them with presence and pressure, never causing panic, but steering them toward danger. With every step, they shape the herd's path, using their bodies and the darkness to funnel the animals toward a chosen spot. Ahead, an experienced lioness waits, her body pressed flat against the earth, invisible in the night. She is the anchor of the ambush, her senses straining for the approach of hooves. She waits, patient and still, as her sisters drive the herd closer. The tension in the air is electric, every lioness attuned to the other's movements. Timing is everything. The pride's success depends on perfect synchronization, a leap, a charge, a sudden rush from the shadows. In the final moments, the savannah erupts. Lionesses burst from cover, muscles coiled and unleashed in a blur of speed and power. The trap is sprung. The prey, startled and confused, bolts. But the pride is relentless, each lioness playing her part in the chase. A charging lioness can reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, her focus narrowed to a single target. She singles out the weakest, the youngest, or the slowest, her senses guiding her to the most vulnerable. The kill is swift and precise, a powerful bite to the throat, cutting off air and ending the struggle quickly. Yet, even with all their skill and cooperation, success is never guaranteed. The night often ends in exhaustion, the pride gathering in silence after a failed hunt. Only about 1 in every 4 hunts ends in a kill. The rest are lessons in patience and resilience, reminders of the challenges of survival. In these moments, the pride draws close, their bonds strengthened by shared struggle. Teamwork is not just a strategy, it is the very heart of their survival, woven into every hunt beneath the African moon. In the shadowy depths of the Luangwa River and its winding lagoons, a silent ruler glides beneath the surface. Here, in these ancient waters, lives a creature whose lineage stretches back to the time of the dinosaurs, a living relic, perfectly adapted to a world of constant danger and opportunity. This is the Nile crocodile, the undisputed apex predator of these waterways. For millions of years it has reigned supreme, its presence shaping the very rhythm of life along the riverbanks. Some males grow to monstrous proportions, stretching up to 20 feet in length and weighing more than 1,500 pounds. Their sheer size alone commands respect from all who share their domain. Armored with thick, rugged scales and propelled by a muscular tail, the crocodile is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. Its jaws, lined with rows of dagger-like teeth, are built for a single purpose, to seize and subdue. The crocodile is a phantom in its aquatic world, feared by nearly every animal that dares to approach the water's edge. Each ripple, each shadow could signal its presence. Its body is a living fortress, a blend of impenetrable armor and lethal grace. Every scale, every ridge, tells a story of survival in a world where only the strongest endure. The crocodile's senses are finely tuned for ambush. Its eyes, ears, and nostrils are perched atop its head, allowing it to remain almost entirely hidden beneath the water, watching, listening, and breathing while its body lies in wait. With only the slightest ripple betraying its presence, the crocodile can drift for hours, nearly invisible, a silent observer of the drama unfolding on the riverbank. Motionless, it mimics a floating log, blending seamlessly with the debris and shadows. This patience is its greatest weapon, for the river is a stage, and the crocodile is the master of suspense. Its camouflage is so complete that even the most cautious antelope or wary bird may not sense the danger lurking just beneath the surface. As herds gather to drink, the crocodile waits, motionless, its eyes fixed on the weakest or most distracted. The riverbank is a place of life and death, and the crocodile is the silent judge. Its ability to vanish in plain sight is unmatched. The muddy water becomes its cloak, the reeds its allies as it prepares for the perfect moment to strike. When the time comes, the crocodile explodes from the water with astonishing speed and power. Its attack is a blur of muscle and teeth, a sudden eruption that leaves little chance for escape. Its jaws snap shut with a force among the strongest in the animal kingdom, crushing bone and sinew in an instant. The grip is relentless, a vice from which few ever break free. Once caught, the prey is dragged beneath the surface, the crocodile's powerful tail thrashing, pulling its victim into the watery depths where the struggle quickly ends. Though fish are its staple, the Nile crocodile is an opportunist. Anything that ventures too close, bird, monkey, antelope, or even a young buffalo, can become a meal. The riverbank is a place of constant risk, and the crocodile's menu is as varied as the creatures that come to drink. Scavenger as well as hunter, the crocodile wastes nothing. It will feed on carrion, cleaning the river of the remains left by other predators. As cold-blooded reptiles, crocodiles depend on the sun to warm their bodies. In the cool of morning, they haul themselves onto the sandy banks, soaking up the heat that fuels their next hunt. Basking in the golden light, they lie motionless, conserving energy, their eyes ever watchful for the next opportunity. The warmth seeps into their bodies, awakening ancient instincts and preparing them for the explosive power required to hunt. When the heat becomes too intense, they slip silently back into the cool embrace of the river, vanishing as quickly as they appeared. Sometimes they lie with jaws agape, a behavior called gaping. It is not a threat, but a clever way to regulate body temperature, allowing heat to escape from their massive bodies. In the relentless African sun, this simple act is a key to survival, a testament to the crocodile's mastery of its environment. Beneath the surface, the crocodile glides with effortless grace, a shadow among the reeds. Fish scatter in its wake, and the river's smaller creatures know to keep their distance. Even the next generation is shaped by the river. Female crocodiles guard their nests with fierce devotion, ensuring that their young have a chance to join the cycle of life and death that defines this ecosystem. The Nile crocodile is not alone in its domain. It shares the river with hippos, birds, and countless fish, each playing a role in the delicate balance of this watery world. As dusk falls and the river comes alive with sound, the crocodile remains ever watchful, a silent sentinel, a living legend, and the ultimate survivor in the heart of Africa's wild rivers. The Nile crocodile is the master of the waiting game. It can stay perfectly still for hours on end, a model of reptilian patience. It often chooses a spot along the riverbank where animals frequently come to drink. There, it will float silently, with just the top of its head above the water, watching and waiting. Its dark, bumpy skin blends in perfectly with the muddy water and floating debris, making it nearly invisible to a thirsty gazelle or impala. The crocodile conserves its energy, knowing that a sudden, explosive burst of action will be needed when the right moment arrives. This patience is a deadly hunting tool. When an unsuspecting animal lowers its head to drink, the crocodile makes its move. In a split second, the seemingly calm water erupts. The crocodile launches itself forward with incredible speed, propelled by a powerful swish of its muscular tail. It grabs the animal with its immensely strong jaws, often clamping down on its head or leg. The surprise is total. The prey has no time to react before it is caught in the crocodile's inescapable grip. This explosive ambush is the result of hours of stillness and is a terrifying display of the crocodile's raw power and perfect timing. Once the crocodile has a firm hold on its prey, the struggle begins. If the animal is large, like a zebra or a buffalo, the crocodile will use its signature move, the so-called death roll. It will drag the animal into deeper water and then begin to spin its own body over and over with incredible force. This maneuver serves two purposes. It disorients and drowns the victim, and it also helps to tear off large pieces of meat that are easier to swallow. The crocodile's teeth are designed for gripping, not for chewing, so it must swallow its food in large chunks. The death roll is a brutal but effective method for handling large and powerful prey. After a successful hunt and a large meal, a crocodile may not need to eat again for weeks or even months. Its slow metabolism allows it to survive for very long periods between meals. This is another key to its success as a predator, especially during the dry season when food might be less plentiful. The crocodile will digest its meals slowly, often returning to a sunny spot on the riverbank to bask and let the sun's warmth aid its digestion. The patient hunter now becomes a patient rester, waiting until hunger drives it to begin the silent, watchful hunt all over again. Along the shimmering banks of the Luangwa River, the Nile crocodile reigns as a formidable predator. Her armored body and powerful jaws a symbol of raw strength. Yet beneath this fearsome exterior, a remarkable transformation unfolds when she becomes a mother. The same creature that strikes terror into the hearts of river dwellers reveals a side of astonishing tenderness. As the season shifts and the river's edge glows golden in the afternoon sun, the female crocodile's instincts guide her to a secluded stretch of sandy bank, far above the reach of the rising waters. She moves with deliberate care, her massive tail sweeping aside reeds and debris as she searches for the perfect nesting site, a place where her young will be safe from the river's unpredictable floods. With powerful hind legs, she digs deep into the warm sand, grains flying as she carves out a hollow. This nest, hidden from prying eyes, will cradle the next generation. One by one, she lays her precious eggs, sometimes as many as 80, each one a fragile promise of life. With gentle sweeps of her snout, she buries them beneath a protective blanket of sand, sealing them away from the harsh sun and lurking predators. For the next 3 months, the mother becomes a silent sentinel. She lingers near the nest, her eyes ever watchful, her body poised to defend her hidden brood. The riverbank is alive with danger. Monitor lizards slink through the undergrowth, their tongues flicking in search of scent. Hyenas and baboons prowl the shadows, drawn by the promise of an easy meal. But the mother stands her ground, her presence alone enough to deter most would-be thieves. She is relentless, enduring the heat of the day and the chill of the night, never straying far from her nest. Beneath the sand, a quiet miracle is taking place. The temperature within the nest is more than a matter of comfort, it is destiny itself. The warmth of the sand determines the fate of her young. Cooler sands nurture daughters, while the sun's embrace brings forth sons, a delicate balance shaped by the river's rhythms. In shaded nests, the hatchlings will mostly be female, their tiny hearts beating in time with the cool earth. In sunlit nests, the warmth brings forth mostly males, each one destined to carve his own path along the river. This silent shaping of life is one of nature's wonders, a secret written in the sand. The mother cannot control the temperature, but her choice of nest site, shaded by trees or open to the sun, can tip the scales for her offspring's future. Each decision she makes, from the nest's location to her constant vigilance, shapes the destiny of her young. For 3 long months she remains steadfast, a living shield against the dangers that prowl the riverbank. Dawn after dawn, she waits, her senses tuned to the faintest tremor in the sand. Then at last the silence is broken. From deep within the nest the hatchlings begin to call, high-pitched chirps that pierce the stillness, a chorus of life ready to emerge. The mother stirs, her ancient instincts awakened by the cries of her young. She knows the moment has come, With astonishing delicacy, she uncovers the nest, her massive claws and snout moving with gentle precision, freeing her babies from their sandy cradle. The hatchlings break free of their leathery shells, blinking in the dappled light, their tiny bodies glistening with the promise of new life. The mother's jaws, so often instruments of destruction, become cradles of care. She gathers her young one by one, holding them with a gentleness that defies her fearsome reputation. Carefully, she carries them to the water's edge, her mouth a safe haven from the dangers of the world. In a sheltered nursery among the reeds, she releases them into the cool embrace of the river, where the journey of survival truly begins. But the river is a place of peril as well as promise. The hatchlings, no bigger than a human hand, are surrounded by threats, each day a test of their resilience. In the murky depths, predatory fish lurk, waiting for a careless movement. Overhead, birds of prey and storks scan the shallows, ready to snatch the unwary. The mother, and sometimes the father, remain close, their presence a constant shield against the dangers that stalk the riverbank. For weeks, sometimes months, the adults guard their vulnerable creche, ever alert, ever ready to defend. The young cluster together, learning the ways of the river under the watchful gaze of their protectors. Any threat is met with swift, decisive action, the mother lunging, jaws agape, to drive away danger. Yet, despite her devotion, the odds are harsh. Many hatchlings vanish, claimed by the river's many predators. Only a handful will survive to adulthood, each survivor a testament to the mother's unwavering care. In the wild heart of the Luangwa, the mother crocodile's fierce love gives her young the greatest gift of all, a fighting chance in a world ruled by tooth and claw. On the rugged, sun-baked hillsides of the Luangwa Valley, where ancient rocks jut from the earth and the air shimmers with heat, a remarkable drama unfolds each day. Here, in the dappled shade of woodlands and among the scattered boulders, lives one of Africa's most resourceful and intelligent creatures, the Chacma baboon. These primates form tightly knit communities known as troops, where every member has a role to play in the intricate tapestry of daily life. A single troop can swell from 20 to more than 80 individuals, each one bound to the group by invisible threads of loyalty, rivalry, and kinship. The air is alive with their chatter, grunts, barks, and squeals echoing through the trees as they jostle, groom, and squabble, their society a whirlwind of energy and emotion. Survival here is a team effort. The troop's strength lies not just in numbers, but in the seamless cooperation that binds them together. With so many vigilant eyes, danger rarely goes unnoticed. High on a rock, a sentinel scans the horizon, ever watchful for the silent approach of lions or the stealthy prowl of leopards. When the threat of predators looms, the troop draws together, a living shield of bodies and resolve, their unity the key to survival in this perilous land. At the heart of this society sits the dominant male, a figure of both authority and responsibility. Yet, beneath his leadership, the social web is complex. Alliances shift, friendships form and dissolve, and every baboon knows its place in the ever-changing hierarchy. The adult males are imposing, their faces marked by wisdom and scars, their presence commanding respect. Weighing up to 90 pounds, they are built for both power and agility, their bodies honed by years of survival. Their long, razor-sharp canine teeth, each as formidable as a leopard's, are both weapons and warnings, displayed in fierce grimaces to assert dominance or deter rivals. These males are the guardians of the troop, ever alert, their senses tuned to the faintest hint of danger. At the first sign of trouble, a sharp, explosive bark rings out, a signal that electrifies the troop. Instantly, every baboon is on high alert, muscles tensed, eyes wide, ready to flee or fight. In a blur of motion, they scramble up trees and rocks, seeking the safety of height, their young clinging tightly to mothers' backs. But the bravest remain, the adult males standing shoulder to shoulder, ready to defend their family. With fierce determination, they band together, charging at predators in a show of force that few would dare challenge. Their courage drives off even the most determined hunters. ensuring the safety of the troop's youngest and most vulnerable. Communication is the lifeblood of baboon society. Every gesture, every sound carries meaning. With a flick of the hand, a tilt of the head, or a subtle glance, they convey warnings, invitations, and intentions. Their vocal repertoire is vast, over 30 distinct calls, each one a thread in the complex web of troop life. From soft, reassuring grunts exchanged between friends to piercing alarm barks that freeze the troop in an instant, every sound has its purpose. Body language and facial expressions add another layer, subtle signals that reveal mood, intent, or status within the group. Grooming is more than hygiene. It is the glue that binds the troop together. Day after day, baboons pick through each other's fur, searching for insects and debris, but also forging bonds of trust and friendship. These quiet moments of connection ease tensions, heal rifts, and reinforce the social order that keeps the troop united. Within this strict hierarchy, peace is maintained and cooperation flourishes. Chacma baboons are true omnivores, their diet as varied as the landscape they roam. This adaptability is their secret weapon, allowing them to thrive in the ever-changing Luangwa Valley. From dawn until dusk, they forage across the ground, their sharp eyes and nimble fingers searching for sustenance. Grass, roots, seeds, and fruits form the backbone of their diet, each meal a testament to their resourcefulness. But they are also opportunists, feasting on insects, scorpions, and even the occasional bird or young antelope when the chance arises. No opportunity is wasted, and every member of the troop learns to adapt, to innovate, to survive. As the seasons shift, so too does their menu. What is scarce in the dry months becomes abundant with the rains. Their ability to adjust, to find nourishment in both feast and famine, is a testament to their ingenuity. Whether the land is parched and brown or lush and green, the baboon's flexible approach ensures that hunger is a rare visitor. Through intelligence, cooperation, and adaptability, the Chacma baboon troop has become one of Africa's most successful and widespread primates, a living testament to the power of unity and the brilliance of nature's design. In the heart of the Luangwa Valley, a tapestry of life unfolds each day, a living mosaic where every animal, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, plays a vital role in the grand design of the African bush. Here, the boundaries between predator and prey blur at the river's edge. Lions and zebras, both wary and thirsty, approach the same watering hole, their senses heightened by the silent presence of a crocodile just beneath the surface. Each animal is acutely aware of the others, their lives woven together by the need for water and the ever-present threat of danger. The lion, regal and powerful, surveys the savannah with golden eyes, while the crocodile basks in the sun, conserving energy for a sudden strike. Nearby, a baboon sits upright, its sharp gaze scanning for both opportunity and threat. Each species has carved out its own strategy for survival, shaped by countless generations of adaptation. The lion's strength lies not just in muscle but in unity. The pride moves as one, silent, coordinated, and patient, stalking through the tall grass. Every member, from the youngest cub to the experienced matriarch, has a role in the hunt, their fates bound together by the success of the group. In contrast, the crocodile is a master of patience. It waits motionless for hours, sometimes days, its eyes just above the waterline. When the moment comes, it explodes from the riverbank with astonishing speed, relying on surprise and the element of water to secure its meal. The baboon, ever watchful, depends on the collective wisdom of its troop. Foraging in the open, they groom and chatter, their social bonds as important as their sharp eyesight. When danger threatens, a single alarm call can send the entire troop scrambling into the safety of the trees. Across the valley, herds of antelope, giraffe, and elephants move in loose formation, their paths crossing and diverging in a silent choreography. Each species senses the presence of the others, drawing comfort from numbers and the shared vigilance of many eyes and ears. On the sun-baked slopes of the escarpment, vervet monkeys leap from branch to branch, their agile bodies perfectly suited to the dry, thorny landscape. They travel in tight-knit troops, always alert to the shifting shadows that might signal a stalking predator. Their silvery grey coats shimmer in the dappled light, blending seamlessly with the rocks and dry grass. Camouflage is their first line of defense, but it is their social intelligence that truly keeps them safe. Like the baboons, vervet monkeys rely on a complex language of alarm calls. A sharp bark signals a leopard in the grass, while a different cry warns of an eagle circling above. Each call triggers a precise response. Some monkeys dash for the treetops, others freeze and scan the sky. When a shadow passes overhead, the troop's lookout sounds the eagle alarm, sending the youngest scrambling for cover. The unity of the group, their shared vigilance, is their greatest shield. On the ground, a different call warns of a snake slithering through the undergrowth. Instantly, the troop forms a defensive ring, eyes fixed on the danger below, ready to mob the intruder if necessary. This intricate system of communication allows the troop to respond with precision, climbing high to escape a leopard or keeping low and vigilant when a snake is near. Every member knows their role, and the survival of one depends on the awareness of all. At the waterhole, the interconnectedness of life is on full display. Predators and prey gather in uneasy truce, each aware that their destinies are entwined. The lion's hunger keeps the herds alert and moving, while the abundance of prey sustains the pride. When the lions hunt, they target the old, the weak, or the unwary, ensuring that only the fittest survive. In this way, the pride shapes the herds, keeping them strong and healthy. The herds in turn graze the grasslands, their movements preventing overgrowth and encouraging new shoots. The balance is delicate. Too many grazers and the land is stripped bare. Too few, and the bush becomes choked and impenetrable. Crocodiles lurking in the shallows cull the unwary and the desperate, their presence shaping the behavior of every animal that comes to drink. The river's edge is a place of risk and reward, where survival depends on timing and caution. Baboons and monkeys, ever watchful, must navigate a world filled with threats. A distant roar or a flicker of movement in the grass sends the troop into high alert, their lives a constant dance between curiosity and caution. Yet these primates are more than just prey. As they forage for fruit, they scatter seeds across the valley, planting the next generation of trees and shrubs. Their daily movements help shape the very landscape they depend on. Elephants, the giants of the valley, carve paths through the bush, opening up new spaces for other animals. Even the tiniest termites play their part, breaking down dead wood and enriching the soil, ensuring that life continues to flourish. As the sun rises, the bush awakens. Herds move out to graze, predators begin their patrols, and the air fills with the calls of birds and monkeys. Each day is a new chapter in the ongoing story of survival. The search for food and water is relentless. Every animal, from the smallest antelope to the largest elephant, must find its place in the ever-shifting web of life. As dusk falls, the bush transforms. Nocturnal hunters emerge from the shadows, and the night air vibrates with the sounds of unseen lives. For some, the darkness brings opportunity. For others, it is a time of fear and vigilance. Over countless generations, the animals of Luangwa have honed their senses and instincts. Every twitch of an ear, every flick of a tail is a response to the challenges of this wild and unpredictable world. Keen eyesight, acute hearing, powerful bodies, and intricate social bonds, these are the tools that allow them to survive, to raise their young, and to thrive in the face of adversity. By watching the lion stalk, the crocodile wait, and the monkey leap through the trees, we witness the delicate balance that sustains this world. Each life is a thread in the vast living fabric of the African bush. This is a realm of raw beauty and constant struggle, where every sunrise brings hope, every sunset brings uncertainty, and the enduring power of nature is revealed in the interconnected lives of its wild inhabitants. As the last golden rays slip behind the distant escarpment, a hush settles over the Luangwa Valley. Daytime's familiar bustle fades, replaced by the subtle symphony of the African night. Under the cover of darkness, a new cast of predators emerges, masters of stealth whose lives are rarely glimpsed beneath the moonlit canopy. In the cool, inky air, the leopard stirs. Its rosetted coat blends seamlessly with the dappled shadows, amber eyes glowing like embers as it slips between twisted roots and fallen logs. The leopard's world is one of silence and solitude. Every step is calculated, every movement precise, as it stalks a herd of impala, grazing nervously at the woodland's edge. The impala's ears flick, sensing danger they cannot see. A sudden rustle sends them bounding away, but the leopard is patient. Tonight, there will be other chances. Deeper, in the thickets, a pair of spotted hyenas begin their nightly patrol. Their eerie giggles drift through the air, a language as complex as any in the valley. Hyenas are the ultimate opportunists, thriving in the shadows that others fear. They sniff out the faintest traces of a lion's abandoned meal, their powerful jaws ready to crush bone and sinew. Yet they are not only scavengers. Working in coordinated silence, they circle a sleeping bushbuck, communicating with subtle glances and soft whoops. The hunt is swift and brutal, a reminder that in the darkness even the boldest prey is vulnerable. Near the riverbank, a civet cat slinks between the reeds, its masked face peering curiously at the world. It pauses to listen, then pounces on a beetle, crunching it quietly. The civet's night is filled with small victories, frogs, insects, fallen fruit, each one a testament to adaptation and resourcefulness. Above, the night air vibrates with the soft flapping of owl wings. The giant eagle owl, silent as a shadow, glides between ancient trees. Its keen vision pierces the gloom, spotting a shrew scurrying across the forest floor. With a swift, silent dive, the hunt is over. The owl's haunting call echoes through the valley, a signal to all that the night belongs to those who can move unseen. Not all nocturnal hunters rely on strength or speed. The African honey badger, undaunted by darkness or danger, roots through the undergrowth in search of a meal. It overturns logs, sniffs out burrows, and faces venomous snakes with fearless determination. Its tough skin and relentless spirit make it a formidable adversary, even when outnumbered. In these hours, predator and prey engage in a delicate dance, each relying on heightened senses, ancient instincts, and the cover of darkness. An unseen bush baby leaps between branches, narrowly avoiding the grasp of a lurking genet. A mongoose family huddles together, eyes wide, as the night's dangers pass just beyond their den. Throughout the valley, life pulses in the shadows, hidden dramas unfolding beneath the stars. With every heartbeat, every cautious step, the nocturnal hunters and their quarry shape the rhythm of the Luangwa night. Here, where no human eye intrudes, survival is a secret art, practiced in silence and revealed only by the faintest traces come dawn. As the first light of morning creeps across the land, the night's shadows retreat. The nocturnal predators vanish into their dens and burrows, leaving behind only footprints and the echoes of their silent struggles. In the Luangwa Valley, the cycle continues, each night a new chapter in the untold story of survival. As daylight returns to the Luangwa Valley, a new procession quietly claims the stage. These are the scavengers, the valley's vital cleanup crew, whose work is often overlooked, yet essential to the health of the ecosystem. In the crisp morning air, a wake of vultures circles high above the savannah, their broad wings catching the first thermals. With eyesight sharper than any hunter, they scan the ground for signs of a recent kill. A glint of bone, a ripple of disturbed grass, the faintest scent carried on the breeze. On the ground, spotted hyenas trot with purpose, following invisible trails only they perceive. Their noses, unrivaled in sensitivity, lead them to yesterday's remains, a wildebeest carcass left behind by lions. The hyenas descend in a flurry of movement, their powerful jaws making quick work of bone and gristle. Nothing is wasted. What others cannot digest, the hyena consumes with ease, recycling nutrients back into the earth and keeping disease at bay. Overhead, the first vultures spiral downward, their shadows flickering across the grass. The white-backed vulture lands with practiced grace, soon joined by lappet-faced and hooded cousins. A silent negotiation unfolds. Each species has its place at the table. The largest vultures tear open tough hide, while smaller birds dart in to pick at scraps. Their beaks, perfectly adapted, clean every morsel from bone and sinew, leaving little behind for decay. Scavengers operate in a delicate balance. They are not merely opportunists, but guardians against the spread of illness. By swiftly removing carrion, they prevent the build-up of bacteria and parasites that threaten other wildlife. Their presence ensures that death in the valley becomes the seed for new life, completing a cycle as old as the land itself. Nearby, black-backed jackals linger at the periphery, waiting for their chance to snatch a mouthful. Even insects and beetles join the feast, breaking down what remains into the soil. In this intricate web, every scavenger, great and small, plays a part. Though often maligned, these creatures are indispensable. Their vigilance keeps the valley clean, their efficiency sustains the balance of nature. Without them, disease would spread unchecked, and the harmony of the Luangwa would falter. As the sun climbs higher, the scavengers disperse, their work complete. The land is left renewed, ready for the next act in the endless drama of life and death. In the Luangwa Valley, even the uncelebrated have their vital role, ensuring that every ending becomes a new beginning. As the seasons shift in the Luangwa Valley, a silent signal pulses through the grasslands. The air thickens with anticipation, and the ground trembles under the weight of thousands of hooves. This is the beginning of the Great Migration, a timeless odyssey led by the valley's herbivores, each driven by the promise of fresh grazing and life-giving water. Along ancient paths, herds of impala, wildebeest and buffalo gather, their senses tuned to the subtle changes in wind and the scent of distant rain. The matriarchs, wise with memory, lead the way. Their journey is perilous, a test of endurance and instinct. The river, swollen with the rains, poses the first challenge. Crocodiles lurk beneath the muddy surface, jaws open, waiting for the unwary. Yet the herds must cross, for the promise of lush grasslands lies on the other side. With a surge of courage, the lead animals plunge into the current, the rest following in a churning frenzy. Some falter, but the majority emerge, soaked and triumphant, onto greener banks. The youngest calves cling close to their mothers, learning the rhythm of migration, when to run, when to rest, when to trust the herd. On the open plains, the threat of predators looms. Lions and wild dogs shadow the march, searching for signs of weakness. The herbivores respond with unity, forming tight clusters at night, their eyes and ears ever alert. The strong protect the young, and the herd's sheer numbers become their shield. Food is scarce at times, and waterholes shrink under the relentless sun. The herbivores adapt, traveling at dawn and dusk to avoid the heat, using their finely tuned sense of smell to locate hidden pools and tender shoots. Elephants, the valley's architects, dig into dry riverbeds with their tusks, unearthing water that sustains not just their own families, but countless other creatures. The migration is more than a quest for survival. It is an act of resilience and hope. The footprints pressed into the earth mark the passage of generations. Each step forges new connections, scattering seeds, fertilizing the land, and shaping the valley's future. As storms gather on the horizon and the first drops of rain darken the dust, the herds move onward, undaunted. Their journey is never truly over, but a circle, a promise that life in the Luangwa Valley endures, carried on the backs of its gentle giants, season after season. In this endless cycle, The migration binds the valley's inhabitants together, weaving a story of challenge, adaptation, and the unbreakable will to thrive. Beneath the towering legs of elephants and the pounding hooves of migrating herds, an entire universe thrives, largely unseen, but utterly essential. Welcome to the hidden world of insects, the tiny titans of the Luangwa Valley. Here, among the roots and fallen leaves, armies of ants patrol their labyrinthine tunnels. These tireless workers harvest seeds, aerate the soil, and recycle organic matter, transforming decay into fertile earth. Their underground highways connect the forest floor, supporting the roots of mighty trees above. Nearby, dazzling butterflies and busy bees flit from blossom to blossom, drawn by the promise of nectar. In their pursuit, they become accidental couriers of life, pollinating flowers, ensuring the next generation of plants, and supporting the very food web that sustains the valley's giants. Termites, the master architects, build towering mounds that rise from the savannah like miniature skyscrapers. Inside, millions work in perfect harmony, breaking down dead wood and returning vital nutrients to the soil. Their mounds serve as cool refuges for snakes, lizards, and even small mammals during the scorching heat of the day. As dusk falls, swarms of fireflies light up the riverbanks, their gentle glow a silent conversation in the night. Above, dragonflies patrol the air, keeping mosquito populations in check and serving as swift, agile hunters in their own right. Every insect, from the humble dung beetle rolling its prize across the plains to the stealthy mantis camouflaged among the reeds, plays a crucial role. They are decomposers, pollinators, predators, and prey. An intricate web of activity that keeps the Luangwa Valley alive and thriving. Though their world is measured in millimeters, the impact of insects is immense. They shape the land, feed the birds, and underpin the cycles of growth and decay. Without them, the great migrations, the lush grasslands, and the very rhythm of life in the valley would begin to unravel. In the Luangwa Valley, the smallest creatures are often the most extraordinary. Their silent labors knit together the fabric of this wild place, reminding us sometimes the greatest strength lies in numbers too small to count. As the sun arcs across the Luangwa Valley, time is measured not by clocks, but by the turning of the seasons. Here the rhythm of life pulses to nature's ancient drumbeat, each change in weather bringing both challenge and opportunity for its wild inhabitants. The first rains arrive with a thunderous promise, turning dust-choked plains into a patchwork of emerald. Rivers swell and spill across the floodplains, creating a mosaic of sparkling lagoons and rich green grasses. For grazers like impala and zebra, this is a season of plenty. Newborns totter on wobbly legs, reveling in the abundance, while herds fan out to feast on the fresh growth. But for the predators, the wet season is a test of patience. Lions and wild dogs must adapt their hunting strategies, as thick vegetation offers cover for prey, and the swollen rivers carve new boundaries across their territories. Cheetahs, built for open chases, now stalk through taller grasses, relying on stealth over speed. As the rains fade and the valley dries, a slow transformation unfolds. Pools shrink, grasslands turn gold, and water becomes precious. Elephants, the valley's giants, lead their families on epic journeys in search of dwindling water holes. Using their keen memory, matriarchs guide herds along ancient paths, their massive feet carving trails in the parched earth. Hippos retreat to shrinking pools, crowding together as their watery refuges become islands in a sea of dust. Crocodiles, masters of endurance, burrow deep into riverbanks, slipping into a state of torpor to wait out the dry months. Meanwhile, birds like the carmine bee-eater arrive in dazzling flocks, painting the sky with color as they nest in sandy riverbanks, revealed by receding waters. Even the smallest creatures adapt. The termites seal their mounds to conserve moisture, while the ants shift their activities to the cooler hours of dawn and dusk. Across the valley, life slows and conserves, each species finding ingenious ways to survive until the skies open once more. When the rains finally return, the valley erupts in a chorus of life. Frogs emerge from hidden burrows to fill the night with song, and the great migrations begin anew. Every creature, from the towering giraffe to the tiniest beetle, is bound to the pulse of the seasons, a perpetual dance of survival and renewal. In the Luangwa Valley, adaptation is not just a skill, it is a way of life. Here, every season writes a new chapter in the story of survival, reminding us that in nature's grand design, change is the only constant. In the heart of the Luangwa Valley, the struggle between predator and prey is not just a contest of strength, it's a silent, intricate game of intelligence. Here, every encounter is shaped by minds as much as by muscle, each species evolving strategies to outthink its rivals in the quest for survival. Take the impala, a graceful antelope whose survival depends on razor-sharp senses and split-second decisions. When danger lurks, a single snort from a vigilant sentinel can trigger a chain reaction, dozens of impala leaping and zigzagging in unpredictable patterns, confusing even the most determined lioness. The herd's unity is its shield, but within the chaos, each individual must read the land, anticipate a hunter's move, and react in a heartbeat. But the predators are no less astute. In the cool dusk, a pride of lions fans out, communicating in near silence. Each member knows their role. One circles wide to cut off escape, another crouches low, hidden by the tall grass. The matriarch studies the wind, positioning her pride so their scent drifts away from their quarry. Their patience is a lesson in discipline, their timing a testament to collective wisdom honed over generations. Cleverness is not the domain of mammals alone. Nile crocodiles, those ancient architects of ambush, select the perfect spot along a muddy bank, adjusting their position with each shift in the herd's movements. Hidden beneath the surface, they sense the vibrations of hooves, calculating the precise moment to strike. Their prey, ever wary, gathers in tight clusters to drink, eyes wide, ears twitching, a nervous calculus balancing thirst against the risk of attack. Even the smallest creatures are players in this cerebral contest. Vervet monkeys post sentinels in treetops, scanning for aerial and terrestrial threats. A chorus of alarm calls ripples through the troop at the first glimpse of a shadow, each call distinct, warning of lions on the ground or eagles above. The baboons, too, use teamwork and tactical retreats, sometimes even pelting predators with stones from the safety of high branches. This ongoing dance of adaptation is never static. As prey animals develop new defenses, sharper senses, tighter formations, or cryptic camouflage, predators, in turn, refine their tactics. Wild dogs coordinate with military precision, using rapid-fire signals and split-second turns to isolate the weakest link. Leopards, masters of stealth, memorize the routines of their quarry, striking when least expected. In the Luangwa Valley, intelligence is as vital as tooth and claw. Each day, ancient rivalries play out in a contest of wit and will, forging a dynamic balance that shapes the destiny of all who call this wild land home. Here, the battle is never won or lost, only played again and again in nature's ever-evolving theatre of survival.